Hi students, welcome to our zoology lab. All higher levels of organisms have well-developed organ system. These organ systems are digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, excretory system and nervous system, etc. These organ systems are formed with the help of different organs. Today we are discussing about some important organs and their functions. Let's see some model of an important organs present in human body. Let's see the model of human brain. It is protected in a bony socket called cranium. It is divided into two cerebral hemispheres by longitudinal fissures. These are the two hemispheres of brain. It consists of different lobes: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe and temporal lobes. And also it consists of three different regions. Cerebrum, it is the largest part of the brain. Cerebellum, the second largest part of the brain. And medulla oblongata, cerebrum. Let us discuss about the important functions of cerebrum. This is the largest part of the brain, cerebrum. It controls voluntary and involuntary movements. Also, it is the perception of a number of sensory stimuli. It is a seat of memory, intelligence, reasoning and learning. This is the second largest part of the brain, cerebellum. It coordinates the voluntary movements. Also, it controls equilibrium and posture of the body. Then third part, it is the medulla oblongata. It controls involuntary functions. It controls sneezing, vomiting, urinating, blood pressure, etc. This is the region of pons. It relays the information between cerebrum and cerebellum. Here you can see spinal cord. It controls sensory and motor impulses to and from the brain. It controls a reflex action of the body. This is the model of human kidney. It is the part of the excretory system. It helps to remove the nitrogenous waste materials, excess water and inorganic salt from our body. It is located at the back of the abdominal cavity on either side of the vertebral column just below the diaphragm. It is reddish in color. It is reddish brown color and has a bean-shaped structure. It has an outer convex surface and inner concave surface. In the concave surface of kidney has a notch called hilum. Here you can see hilum. It is the place where ureter originates. The renal artery and renal vein pass in and out at the hilum. It has outer cortex and inner medullary region. This cortex region carries Malpighian tubules, both distal and proximal convoluted tubules. Renal medulla carries Henle's loop and collecting tubules. A wide funnel-shaped structure opens into the hilum region. It is called a renal pelvis. It conducts urine from kidney to ureter. Here you can see a renal vein and renal artery. Renal artery supplies blood to the kidney. renal vein collects blood from the kidney. This is the ureter. It conducts urine from kidney to urinary bladder. Inner cortex region, you can see here renal pyramids also. This is the model of the human heart. It is mesodermally derived structure. It is located just behind the sternum, in between the lungs. It has 4 chambers. Upper 2 chambers are called atrium. This is the pulmonary veins. It collects oxygenated blood from lungs and supplies to left auricle. Here you can see aorta. It is the largest blood vessel. It carries blood from left ventricle to various parts of the body. This is the pulmonary artery. It carries deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to the lungs. Here you can see interauricular septum. Interauricular septum. Here you can see interauricular septum. It prevents mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the auricular part. This is the interventricular septum. It prevents mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the ventricular part. This is the tricuspid valve. It allows flow of deoxygenated blood from right auricle to right ventricle. This is the bicuspid valve, also called mitral valve. It allows flow of oxygenated blood from left auricle to left ventricle. Here you can see semilunar valves. It prevents backflow of blood from arteries into ventricle. Human beings have different sensory organs. One of the important sensory organ is human ear. Here you can see the model of human ear. Let's see the important parts of human ear. This is pinna. It collects sound waves and directs them to the external auditory canal. Here you can see the external auditory canal. External auditory canal is a passage of sound waves to the eardrum. It also secretes ear wax and also helps to moderate the climate inside the ear. This is the tympanic membrane. It vibrates on receiving the sound waves and transmit them into the internal ear. Also, it increases the force of sound vibration. Here you can see Eustachian tube. It helps to balance the air pressure on the tympanum so that it is not damaged. Here you can see ear ossicles, malleus, incus and stapes. Ear ossicles consist of malleus, incus and stapes. And this is ear ossicles, malleus, incus and stapes. It helps the transmission of vibrations from tympanum to the internal ear and also increase the force of vibration by approximately 10 times. This is the internal ear, part of the internal ear. It consists of semicircular canals, vestibule and cochlea. Semicircular canals and vestibule mainly associated with the balancing of our body. cochlea mainly associated with hearing, pinna auditory canal and tympanic membrane are the part of the external ear. Eustachian tube and ear ossicles are the parts of middle ear. Semicircular canals, vestibule and cochlea mainly the part of the internal ear. This organ is concerned with hearing and balance.